Welcome to Just Minded My Business Media, LLC, where you get information that you can use. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. But before we dive in, subscribe to Just Minded My Business on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Share Just Minded My Business with your family, friends, and colleagues. Engage with us by leaving a review or comment. Your support keeps this podcast going and growing. Visit our website at jmmbmediallc.com to learn how we can support you in getting more visibility on your products and services. So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use. Welcome to Just Minded My Business Media, where you get information that you can use. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. But before we dive in, subscribe to Just Minded My Business on our YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. So grab your pen and your paper and get ready for information that you can use. Well, I am so happy to bring today GOVIND BALU, who is a visionary entrepreneur and experienced executive with a strong background in leveraging data and AI to drive business growth across different industries. As the founder and CEO of QX Impact, he spearheads the company's vision to transform organizations into data-driven enterprises. GOVIND also is serving as Interim Chief Digital Officer at Roadside Protect, overseeing technology strategy, data strategy, IT capabilities, data analytics capabilities, and business transformation programs. So welcome, GOVIND. We are so happy to have you today.
Thank you so much for a kind introduction. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. So, as we all know, AI is the hot thing of today. And there are people out there that are still struggling with it and really not understanding how to use it. So, can you kind of share with us how people can successfully transform their digital initiatives using AI?
Wonderful question. Very simple layman terms. AI is an advanced version of the technology tool, which we did not have an opportunity to have for many, many years. So now we have it. I want people to at least relax. This is not going to take jobs, rather than it's going to impact the human lives and the business communities to drive growth and value to each other. So that's absolutely my definition of the technology tool, why it came to life. But there are many different ways you could leverage the AI to drive the value. Okay. So it starts with always the one question I would ask: what is the number one challenge you have in the organization? So whether you have a problem with acquiring a new business, whether you have a problem with you have a product that you are not able to grow the revenue, or you have a problem with there is a significant manual process you have to put a human labor, even if you're putting a humans doing the processes, still you are not able to get efficiency what you want. It always starts with the top of your business. I think a lot of the people that try to leverage the technology, the bottom up, I would always start with a top down approach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the AI does require, your point is the first, as I stated, the business problem. And the second problem, it's like before you start doing anything, a tool, you need an input. Input is nothing but a data asset. So as organization collecting a massive amount of the data today, even you or me speaking, we both are collecting the data in the form of the voice, right? I think everything what we are recording is the data. So you can collect in the voice, you can collect in the text, video, even you're collecting the lot of the systems, and make sure that your data is available for you to leverage the tool. So the one way to verify it, look at across the aisles based on the problem, what you are trying to do some data discovery, data exploration of the a problem. For me to acquire a new business, do I have a right level of leads? Do I have a right level of markets I need to reach out to? Get that data in and make sure that the data is ready to feeding into the AI side. Third component you really need to looking at, there is a ethical and the governance aspect of the AI. So once you start applying the AI, you need to make sure that what comes out of the AI is really doing the goodness to the human beings or businesses. Otherwise, what happens, you're creating something that's not trusted. We are all going to be the victim of that strategy. So make sure that I think there is a level of governance, a level of ethics being introduced into your AI solutioning. One way to do it is the making sure that the value what you are producing it properly managing it. So the final your question is outcome or output of the AI, you run it through the digital channels to drive the growth. So let's say, I have a customer, sorry, a new customers I need to acquire. Now I have identified who are the right targets to you need to reach out. Rather than you picking a phone and calling them, you run it through the digital channel, which could be an email, which could be a mobile apps, it could be anything. You're really transforming the work into the digital channels to drive the growth. That's what it becomes, a digital transformation. And that's called the end-to-end journey of the AI to drive the value. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, the very elegant way of thinking, the repeating it, identify the problem, make sure that you have the right data available, put the right model, right ethics, right governance into it, extract the output and validate it and send it to the digital, the channels you like to look at. Then that entire journey transforms magically. They have a lot of work I have done my prior life at Allstate and Bank of America. One of the solutions I have implemented in the AI, when you break down on the road, we were talking about we both are living in a cold cities. Let's say I'm Chicago, I'm driving in the middle of the winter, I broke down my car. How soon you can rescue the customer makes a significant difference impacting the human lives. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we leverage the AI and even predicting it how likely your car is going to break down, okay, and where you broke down, and how can I send you someone in a real time so that you don't have to wait in the middle of the road, risking you dropping you at home or dropping you at the dealer. It matter of we reduce it from a 55 minutes to 32 minutes time frame. So if you're looking at the what impact we made it, rescuing the human beings from you are waiting on 55 minutes and bringing it up to 32 minutes, that's a significant improvement. Okay. There we did not take any jobs. All we have done leverage the AI. We created a goodness for the human being. So I think uh, that's where I think it becomes AI becomes a very, very handy if we have a right problem that can be impactful to your business or even day to day our lives.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
made that sound so simple. Thank you for that. I mean, and one of the things I heard you say is it doesn't take anybody's job. So that's one of the biggest fears about AI is it going to take my job? It's, and how do you dispel that notion? Because that's the big fear right now.
You know, the again, my messaging may not be convincing the audience. They're still being concerned. I think the AI, if you purely talk about the technology itself, okay, the technology evolved from generations of the technology. Started with the traditional mainframe type of technology to
Mhm.
advance it to client server technology. Then there is a entire technology. We are a digital world. So as a human beings, it's kind of aging ourselves into getting a better maturity person as you get age. So what we are journey of the advanced enablement of the technology for a human goodness. Okay, so I can give you an example. I use a carrier in my telecommunication by using my mobile phone. Okay. When I have a communication with my carrier, they fail to record why I call them. They fail to address my concerns, and they're trying to optimize their business and make me happy. It's not intentional that they wanted to disrespect me. They don't want to serve me, but they're trying it. But the amount of information they're collecting, people like me and you and a lot of the people, they're not able to a dig deeper into why did you call, when did you call, when should I reach out to Govind to help you. It's not humanly possible because the amount of data we are really collecting it. So the good or bad, I think we are humans try to consume a lot of garbage in, but we are not able to extract the value out of it. I'm going to give you a simple example, right? You and me have a tons of garbage in the garage, tons of garbage in the basement. You're not going to be using it. The data is exactly the same. We continue to collect a massive amount of the data, but we are not really leveraging the data to create a value for our own goodness.
Mhm.
So if you look at, we have an option. You have an option to bring the tool to extract the value. You have an option to continue to be scared of, okay, my job is going to get eliminated. So I would say you let the technology to clean up the garbage, what we need to do. You have an opportunity to do a better, cool job than a technology can do it. I think we got to change as how we are thinking. Okay, obviously, again, I'm not going to convince them. There is the low accounting jobs that AI can automate it. Obviously, those some of the jobs may have an impact. I'm not going to say no to that, right? Because we are trying to automate using it. In
Mhm.
that case, then organization needs to find hey, this has been automated. Is there a better training, better development for you? Here is something you can do it. So it's an organizational compromise also needs to happen. That's where the leaders in the organization take a look at what can be automated, what can be the you know done humanly to that. So to make it simple, there is a massive amount of the data we are collecting as humans in the form of voice, in the form of the text, in the form of videos, in the form of the different ways. I think there is a lot of value we can create a value out of that and create a goodness for the human beings. I think again that the best answer I could give, but I know it's very very hard other people to become. Someone is concerning. Okay, I know it's easy to say, very hard to follow the reality, but I get that. But there is a lot of value we can create AI.
Absolutely. And, as you were talking, I mean, I've been in the IT field for over 30 years. When I started, it was DOS.
Right?
And,
That's it.
I've been in the industry and watched it evolve over time. And, the task that I was doing in the DOS days became easier,
Right.
because I remember having to type in commands ye long, just to get it to do to get the computer to do something, and then you couldn't mess up a letter. You had to make sure you had a space, and if you it was wrong, you had to. It was a mess. It was, when I look at those days compared to today, where I can do a couple of clicks and accomplish the same thing that I was doing back in the day, let's say.
Right.
And then the computers being big as rooms, now you have, they can fit in your hand.
That's exactly correct. Yeah. That's
So, you have to be able to evolve with technology. It's not going anywhere. And you have to be able to evolve and make it work for you.
correct. Yeah. So at the end of the day, just like you and me are using a car or a to drive and get our day-to-day needs done, technology will become a need for us to survive. Just like wherever we go, we never had phones, right? When I came to this country 30 years ago, I did not have phone, right?
No.
Right? Now, every second we are watching the phone. Without the phone, we are get addicted to the phone. I'm just
Yes.
telling you. So that phone is truly enabled by the technology. Let's say we shut down the technology. You don't even have a phone to even get what you need. I think that's what we need to looking at. So the adopting a newer technology is part of our day-to-day living, but it
Yes.
so happened that the newer technology is much more advanced than the technology we found historically. What we had it, one way to looking at we are lucky, other way looking at maybe it's dangerous to do so many things that might create a challenges. But my only concern with the fast growing AI is the trusting what AI produces every day, taking everything is granted and start using it if we don't without putting controls. I'm going to give you best example. I think back in 2008, I think, or maybe when the mortgage meltdown,
Mhm.
government did not have a Basel compliant securities. They don't have proper controls on the how do we enforce the proper standards on the mortgage business. We learn hard way, right? We
Mhm.
broke the mortgage industry. We learned it. Then government realized that all of us realized, no, 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 this is not how we should be managing the mortgage business. We need to put the controls on it, right? So the liquidation minimum capital needs to be there, right? There are a lot of controls we enforced. I think as we continue to evolve with this technology, we humans, we are going to put some governance guardrails. This is how we are going to be humans as a leveraging this technology. We are not going to be disservicing each other. So I think we are smart enough to not to create a problems for ourselves, but it's gonna take some time. I think the people to relax and just learn and do some proper way of managing the AI. Mm.
If organizations want your services, how will they connect with you? What's your email and your website thing?
Absolutely. So we are very active on the LinkedIn, which is a professional network. They can go back to look for us a company called QX Impact. Okay, they can type the QX Impact, and there is an email address they can reach out to us. They can also find me by typing a first name Govind.Balu. Send me a quick LinkedIn message, or they can also reach out to me, govind.balu@qximpact.com. Happy to help. I think the most of our clients, they reach out to, here is the problem I have. Can we sit and talk about it, how the AI and the data might be able to help. We don't even try to sell sometimes. We like to love to hear from the what problems they're trying to solve, what they have. We will start with at least a baseline discussions. Then if there is anything we can do, we will try to offer them. So, but anyway, so the best way to reach out to email, a website, or the LinkedIn.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because this is emerging. A lot of companies have not, they don't know how to wrap their head around it.
That's exactly correct.
So where do we start?
Yeah,
What do we do? So they need an expert like yourself to come in and help them go through the processes that they need based on the problems that they're having.
right. I think you touched on the process is the right thing. Don't cut the corners, I would say, right? Follow the right process to better leverage the AI technology.
Mhm.
That's going to help create a long-term value for the companies.
Yes,
Mm,
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. And you
yeah,
probably staying pretty busy because every company out there is trying to utilize AI in some form or fashion, but they don't quite know exactly how to do it.
correct. So the how part is very important, and even after you know how and why you are doing it is very important. I start at least educating the business leaders. Why is more important than how? Try to figure out why do you like to leverage the technology always starts with the business problem. Because so I have the friends, I have the companies they deeply invested in, they did not get the a right business value. They are working on a wrong problem, then realize that, oh, I should not be working on them. Then question is, did you ask why am I working on this? So that's what I'm here for. Not only how, I can also help educate them. Why do you need to solve that problem? Then we can connect the why and how together. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
So the ethical piece of AI development, how can we balance that innovation and still have an ethical practice with it?
I can share with the what I am currently applying it. I think this is continuing evolution of the ethical process maturity. So the way we are approaching it, as I told you, for AI to be successful, you need to have data as an asset. First and foremost, you apply on the data governance side. So the couple of things you would do. What are all your trusted data sources? Meaning, where are you collecting your data? Okay, and can that data source be trusted? Okay, that's the first validation you need to do that. So that means, I'm gonna go to the shop. I'm gonna get a groceries. First things, can I go back and am I going to the right grocery store to get the my raw materials? That's the first validation we do for the clients. And the second one, once we apply the AI, and the outcomes generally the actions, okay, these are the actions you need to do to drive the growth for this. We generally look at the outcome and try to validate with the pre-existing methods. If the companies have been validating the any actions through either a domain expert or some sort of the system they have it, we can go back and bounce it back to validating it.
Mhm.
That way, before you start taking an action, you are validating as much as you can.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say, I'm just using it, maybe perhaps that may not be best example. I have to use it to just, let's say I'm building an HR system. Okay. I'm identifying people, they don't follow the ethical standards in the company. I predict them. There are one person I have to have a taken action from HR perspective. Before I go back and victimize that person in the organization, you have to validate with the data what you have in that case. So that becomes you go back to talk to his manager or her manager, right? So how this person has been, go back and validate historically how that person has done. So that becomes a very, very important. So going back to when you are really taking the actions using an AI output, I recommend try to validate those actions as much as you can, okay?
Okay.
Before you do that. In the absence of you cannot validate that, okay? What I call the maturing period before you take the actions. You kind of take that output, monitor it 1 or 2 months, okay? Make sure that you have any observation, you can monitor it before you start taking on actions. That means it's kind of, we say, when you get upset, don't react it, step back and relax and start doing it tomorrow. The same thing in the AI is also exactly the same. That's what we have been doing it. Again, these are very common sense practices, some cases. All you need to use the common sense to apply it, right? But some kinds common sense becomes a big for some cases. But that's what the data governance side, model output validation. In the absence, you are not comfortable validation, put them on the trial period, try to validate it, then try to take an action on it when you are ready. So that's practice that we have been following. I'm sure that there may be something new is coming. I'm looking forward to learn how we can evolve as a market leaders in the market.
Yes, absolutely. And it's all common sense. I mean, it's just like if I tell you the sky is falling, you're gonna make sure the sky is really gonna fall. You're gonna go check it out.
You got to check it out. Exactly, that's right. You
For
got to check it.
sure.
Yeah,
So that's being responsible,
yeah,
because you can't take everything for face value.
correct.
You
Yeah.
you need to do your due diligence to make sure that the information is accurate.
Particularly since the new tool is relatively it's aging now. It's not fully aged. Going back to starting from the DOS operating systems to today, it took 30 plus years to maturity where we are, right? A
Yes.
newer technology, it's going to take time because
Mm.
while it's getting maturity, I think you rightly use responsibility the tool, apply the common sense. Don't trust too much yet. I think trusting is good, but I think use trust with some sort of the validation. That's all we are saying. Yep.
Yes.
No,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Check it out.
check
Make
it.
sure it's right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Govind, this has been amazing conversation. So, again, if organizations want to have your services, how do they reach out to you?
Definitely, LinkedIn is the best way to reach out to us. They can go to our company website, qximpact.com. And they can find us. All the contact information is everything is there. We are based out of Chicago, Illinois. Okay. And they can also reach out to me on the link then by typing govind.balu, my email address there, my contact information, then they can reach out to me. Otherwise, they can simply reach out to me at my email too. It's a govind.balu@qximpact.com.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
this has been an amazing conversation. I thank you so much for sharing your expertise with our audience and looking forward to more collaborations because I think people need to hear these type of conversations in order to get a better understanding as to how they can utilize the AI technology to make their business stronger, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and thank you, audience, for tuning in. We appreciate you as well. Have a wonderful day. Thank you to our guests and you, our valued audience, for stopping by. We truly appreciate you. Many blessings to you and yours.